everybody, my name is Puppetine from I Love Puppets, here today on I Love Puppets to discuss, what is it? Oh, Superman and Lois, episode 10. And to join me, as always, that loyal amphibian that sits in the dark.
Dun, 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 dun. What?
Hello. Oh.
You don't believe a frog can fly?
Well, I believe it right now because you're just floating up. You're floating around.
Faster than a speeding YouTuber watching this show and clicking off in 60 seconds.
Well, hello, Froggy. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. That is good. I guess you've watched this latest episode, judging by your name, even though you're missing an H.
Actually, no, there is no H missing.
It's R-H-O. Rho.
No, it's R-O. That's how it's spelled.
Well, the subtitles beg to differ. But
other websites beg to differ.
Well, anyway, that's just a little detail. We don't need to go into that.
But you brought it up, though.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and look at some comments because we already have them. We had a loyal Maranya in the audience, as always. Happy to see you, Maranya. Interesting thumbnail. Puppetine looks like he's affected by the grumpy force, though. Well, I mean, Froggy is shoving me through the air.
Do you ever think that maybe he is the grumpy force?
So you mean I am the grumpy god?
Yeah, the god of grumps.
Well, that's a new one. I've never heard that one before. And she also says, Super Froggy! And that's what you are, right?
Yeah, I'm super de-duper.
Well, I think we should go ahead and get started with this because this is a doozy.
Yeah, let's get froggy.
Let's get froggy.
Yeah.
Let's
get knee deep in this crap.
We've been watching a while, and we finally understand Morgan Edge. He reveals himself as the Kryptonian Tar-Rho, not Zod. He is actually Superman's brother. How? Well, because apparently his mother, Laura, was matched with a Kryptonian named Zeta-Rho. And Zeta-Rho and her had a son. Obviously, it wasn't a natural birth because Kryptonians, they matched their DNA together and, oh, look, pod baby.
Yeah, that's how you got born, right?
No. I was just kind of stitched together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, so Tar-Rho is a pod baby, and Clark's mother, Laura, left to be with, obviously, Clark's dad. And so we've learned that there's a half-brother for Superman. Obviously, this is departing from any comic book character. They're doing their own thing.
Which is good, because it makes more sense to do your own thing than just to do everything the comic says.
Yeah, I like it.
As long as it doesn't ruin the character, I don't mind.
Yeah, it doesn't really...
But I do want to say that basically this character is birthright. He was shipped to Earth as a kid. People fired guns at him, and he went crazy and killed them all.
Brightburn, yeah.
He Brightburned it all.
That's basically it, and he explains that to Clark. And Clark is like, I'm not going to join you just because you say that you're my half-brother. I'm not going to join you in destroying the human race, which obviously makes sense. But Tar-Rho is not happy to hear this. He's like, oh, well, if you're not going to join me, then you're going to be eradicated.
Yeah, and his father, we should point out, is Zeta-Rho.
Yes, I said that.
I want to point out again for people who are just joining.
Ah, yes, because we have a Georgia Peach in the audience. Hello, Georgia. How do you do?
Hello,
You look a
Georgia.
bit sleepy today. No? Nothing? Okay. Getting back to it. So, Clark goes to share this information with Lois and the kids. And he does. And Lois says, you need to find out exactly what's going on. If this can even be possible, you go do what you need to. And I'll stay here with the boys. And so he does. He goes to the Fortress of Solitude. And he talks to his hollow dad, Hollow Jor-El. And he says this is absolutely possible. This absolutely could have happened. And Clark says, you never told me this? And the hollow dad says, well, I didn't feel it was necessary. Not necessary? He has a half brother somewhere. That is kind of necessary.
Well, I understand the whole fake Jor-El hologram because, it's... Clark, in this point, Clark could have like 1 billion brothers because, remember, everything was all connected before this. It was Jor-El and his mother who basically broke the cycle and had a natural birth, but nobody did. So who's to say how much of Jor-El's DNA is floating around out there in other people?
Well, I don't think Jor-El's DNA would be floating around. If anything, it would be Laura's. Dragon Ball Talk is in this house. I want Krypton Season 2 instead. We have a Krypton Season 2. We didn't get a Season 3. That was the difference.
Yep.
Wow. I'd hate to settle paternity cases on Krypton. Yes, you
are
would.
Not the father. Oh, crap, that's right, you are. You're not the father.
Did you consent to having this baby? No, my DNA was just thrown around. Oops, a mix-up. But this information is something we take, and we're going to have to set it aside for now. Why? Because Edge wants to bring about every Kryptonian that he has made thus far. And that includes who else but Kyle, Sarah's father. And she's mad at Kyle because she just thinks that he's drunk, came home drunk and went out to drink and blah, blah, blah. But no, he was actually a Kryptonian. A Kryptonian took over his head. But it doesn't last long because Lois is going over because they found Kyle. So they want to get Kyle and question him. But as soon as Lois comes over, Kyle's Kryptonian consciousness is activated and thus is about to kill Lana and Lois when Lois pulls out synthetic kryptonite, weakens Kyle, and that's when the DOD comes in and they lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see some crypto cuffs. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. I was wondering what they're going to do. Remember, if this is connected to Arrowverse, or not, it's the same people. Why would they not have meta cuffs and crypto cuffs?
Yeah. Yep. It makes sense. But from there, there's this huge information share to Sarah. Why, you might ask? Well, Jonathan decides whenever they go to talk to Sarah because she ran out of the house the night before. She decides we need to talk. Sorry. The boys decide we need to talk to her. Mm-hmm. And when they go, Jonathan says, your dad wasn't drunk last night. That's not what happened. Morgan Edge put a Kryptonian in his head. And that is why he just left up and disappeared. Like that. Yeah. And they, in fact, go and take him to the DOD to find out. Meanwhile, they're trying to figure out the machine that Morgan Edge was using to put Kryptonian consciousnesses into human bodies. And they need to figure out how to reverse it. So how do they do this? Well, they are going to take a consciousness of the person who created this pod. Who was that? Lara, Superman's mother.
Yeah, which was revealed in the very beginning episode that he was going to bring back everyone. He said, Tar-Rho is like, yeah, even you might have a chance to speak to your mother. She's the one that did all the technology. I was sent there for a reason, basically to colonize.
Yep.
And we found out that's a bunch of bull. That's not why he was sent here.
No. It might have been sent why he was sent there by his father.
Father, Zeta. Because remember, they had a falling out.
But not Lara. And so, Lana is there because Kyle is obviously locked up there. And they're trying to figure things out. But she volunteers to have Lara's consciousness put in her head. And they try to talk her out of it. And she says, I need to do this. I have to do this. So that way we can reverse this. So that way I can have my husband back. And eventually they agree. It's done. We get a touching moment between Lara and Clark. Because obviously Lara never got to
touch him.
Yeah. Never got to meet him before.
Now she got to touch him.
Yep. Hugs and everything. And thus, what else does she do? She figures out exactly what's happening. She is able to reverse it, and the DoD wants something to do all the Kryptonians at once. They want to turn them back all at once, and she says, we need a whole bunch of power for that to happen. I don't think we can do that. We would need a power source, a massive power source.
Yeah, and guess what? You have a flying battery. Yeah.
But there is a moment before the calling, we shall call it. And so Clark goes to talk to his half-brother. Goes to talk to Tar.
In the middle of a cornfield.
Yeah. And he's trying to convince him. He's like, brother, this isn't the way. You don't have to do this.
And I said, you have to. There's no other way. It's in them or us. And
Clark says, it's not them or us. And that's when, well, Tar-Rho says that, well, you're wrong. And if you're not going to join us, that's it. And that's when we see every Kryptonian in town fly up and approach Clark. They're all flying towards him. It's a great shot.
Yeah, and it's like, you ever watch that? What was that video with? I think it was with Queen, where they all the floating heads, one spot, like this.
Rhapsody
might have been, yeah.
I don't know about that, but
it was a side profile view of them.
Not sure. But getting back to it, they approach. They're all chasing him now because Clark flies off, and he's luring all these human Kryptonian hybrid people to the DoD tent in the middle of Smallville. Yeah, and so in their flight, Clark, he messages the DoD and he tells General Lane, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to release all my energy at once. You need to get everybody out of the area.
He flies down, picks up the device, flies into the sky. They're chasing him. They shoot the lasers at them, and he basically releases all his energy into the egg thing over there, and just he'll get knocked out. But the funny part is like, at this point, they're all like thousands of feet up in the air. If they're no longer Kryptonian, you'd have splats like Invincible everywhere.
I think they're saying that their bodies are
they would have been like this.
Still pumped by kryptonite. So they're all being hit by the solar flare. They're all being knocked down, and that's when they hit the ground and they all wake up. So the Kryptonians were still there. Their bodies were still powerful. I think that's what they're saying. And it looks like it's all well that ends well. Clark, however, was trying to fly back, it looks like, to the Fortress of Solitude.
To hide the device.
Yeah, because you can see the snow and the mountains all around him, and he's about to go, and he's crawling. Ugh.
We also learned that we also learned before get to the very last part. They're keeping Kyle, Lana's husband, who's been taken over, inside the DoD tent, and it's like a glass case, but it has radiation lights, kryptonite lights. So that proves right there that could be Superman one day. And this isn't the first time we've seen this device. I mean, for this show, yes, but we've also seen it in the Dean. For those who remember the Dean Cain Superman, they did a similar thing too.
No, and you're not wrong. Yeah, that could be Superman one day if they turn against him. I'm going to go ahead and address some comments.
Yeah, put dresses on him.
Oh, he's talking to Maranya, saying hello. And I also have to point out, he said that he shared on Facebook, and it is much appreciated. We are so happy to have this shared around. We want more people to see this, and it's so good to see you, Dragon Ball talk.
Yeah, we want to expose ourselves to the world.
Well, I don't know about going that far.
You've nothing to worry about.
I saw this Superman make a cameo on a Supergirl episode where she fought a Russian version of himself. I'm telling you right now, the actor Tyler Holychin, not Holychin, but
Holy Chins,
like Holy Chins, Holy Chins, Batman. He is so much better in this show. I wasn't convinced when he was on Supergirl. I'll admit.
Well, no, this is a different version. It's totally different. I'm convinced it's still a different world because in that world, she was being propped up. She had to bash him to make her look good. In this one, that's not the case.
Well, she's not there.
Yeah, and I don't think she will. Honestly, I think they're keeping her away because they realize how toxic she is.
I don't know about that. I think they're just.
Well, look at how much more popular this is because she's not involved, and how they're doing it. I wonder if they're actually noticing. Hey, you know what? We need a good show rating because people are just tuning out now. Arrow's gone. Flash is all right, but
we'll talk more about Flash later.
I'm just saying. I wonder if CW got talked to by DC and said, you know what? Yeah, you can't do our boy wrong because he's Superman. We need him for the big screen. So if you screw him up here,
maybe it could be that. Maranya says, "Wait, is it Clark or Superman who is approached?" Superman. Yes. Sorry. They're the same person, really. The secret identity is a lot thinner.
Yeah, thanks, Bendis.
Superman, it feels. Tillium says, so this is an Ask Me About My Kryptonian Agenda episode.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you could ask Tar his Kryptonian agenda.
Well, he's evil.
There you go. That's his agenda.
This isn't Mockingbird where it's a hero that actually acts evil.
I know. He's just trying to tell a joke. He's not bashing.
Well, it's not funny, okay? I won't laugh at jokes.
Well, I'm sorry. I found it quite humorous.
You would, because you're an idiot.
Maranya's saying, do the fake Kryptonians retain their memory when they are possessed, when they are released from it? I don't... Yes. The Kryptonians' consciousnesses go back into the organic brain, I believe.
Yeah, yes. Well, I think it was basically... They explained it when Lana was possessed by the Laurel. Basically, she said... The human conscious in there, and it usually takes days or weeks for the human side to fade away. But unless the human accepts it right away, then the Kryptonian takes over control completely. But they said since it was such an early stage, this could work. They basically take the Kryptonian consciousness, put them back inside the little brain thing, and they'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what they say. So how this episode ends. Morgan Edge is with his assistant, and they're in like a desert or something, and he says that there's no problem. they're able to, even though they lost every Kryptonian that they had implanted. The Eradicator, from the Eradicator, that's right, thank you, Tillian. He says that it doesn't matter. They have another plan. And Clark, he's crawling through the snow, and it looks like near his fortress. And
It collapses, passes out.
Yeah. And next episode, it looks like it's going to be
the prologue.
Yeah. We're getting the origin. So in the first flashing scenes,
him coming to Earth, him deciding to become Superman, his mom giving him the costume, doing his first run to do it. It's basically what we've been wanting this whole entire time. You know,
he's going to look. That costume was awesome. I loved that classic costume that they had on in the first episode. It was only there for a second, and I want to see more. Yes. But it's a good episode. This was a really good episode. Got a lot of story, and we are building upon it. It seems like a midpoint almost, because Clark does, in the day, turn everybody back into their human selves. So where do we go from here? That's the question. Morgan Edge, Tar-Rho has another thing up his sleeve, but we have to wait and see what that is. There's no hints. But we have to see where this leads. And
they do show them at some kind of like cliff base.
Yeah.
So I wonder, and it was, you know what the funny thing is, like, it kind of remind me of, like, you know, if they're going to see Raza's Ghoul. Remember, he's got the mountainside thing. We saw this. We saw kind of something similar to this, you know.
You think the Lazarus pits are back?
Well, if it's not this, then the only thing I can think of is that where he escaped from as a child. Remember? When the humans arrested him, he's got that base right there. He took over the base, killed them all, and took over it.
That could be it, and we're going to have to wait next week to see. Let's go ahead and look at some more comments before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Talk says, Zod got the Kryptonian agenda. Kneel to Zod, ask Grodd how.
Yeah, kneel the froggy.
No.
Do it.
So where is the Eradicator and when you need them? Especially the Rebirth Eradicator. That's what they used. They used the Eradicator.
Yeah, he's talking about the character.
I know, but I'm saying the device they used is the Eradicator.
Yes, there's their thing idea, changing the character instead of having a cyborg Superman. Or whatever, you know what to call it.
Dragon Ball Talk says, Grodd helps you kneel. Well, this isn't Englantine's old house. This is Puppetine's new house. That's how we're looking at it. And Tillium says, what if Kryptonian Superman landed in Scotland? He wouldn't be wearing trunks. He'd be wearing a kilt in the air.
Not really. He'd probably be wearing his cousin's outfit.
Well, you don't call a kilt a skirt. You don't do that.
I didn't call it a skirt.
But I think that about does it. This was a really good episode. I'm excited to see where the next one takes us. I'm so happy that we're watching this show. It is my favorite show right now. Period. And we're going to be going live, if you're here with us now, in about probably 10 minutes.
10-15 minutes.
Yeah, to talk about the Flash. Make sure to join us there.
Yeah, I gotta take a break. You know, by the little lily pad house. Yeah, I got to, you know, drop a log.
Oh, well, I don't want to hear about your logs. But where does that leave us with this? Well, just excited for next week and hope to see you there.
I can't find the toilet paper.
Well, check under the cabinet.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have to, go ahead and use a leaf. You're in a swamp, aren't you?
I don't diss your house. Call my house a swamp.
Well, I do live in Florida. But if you're watching afterwards, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you think about this fantastic show. Do you agree? Do you not? Let's see. And honestly, I'm ready to read anything you got to say about it. Thank you, Dragon Ball Talk, Tillium, Maranya, everybody watching. and we will see you next time. Well, in about 10 minutes. And for now, we say bye.